It's 4 p.m. on a Friday. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. The stories today, National Bureau of Investigation recommends the prosecution of at least 21 people over the flood control mess. These include lawmakers such as Ako Bicol Party List Congressman Zaldico, Senators Cheese Escudero, Joel Villanueva, and Jingoy Estrada. Dismissed Public Works Engineer Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, JP Mendoza, and RJ Dumasig, as well as resigned Public Works Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo, are also in the list. According to the DOJ, this recommendation is based on sworn affidavits from key witnesses, including Alcantara, Hernandez, Mendoza, and Bernardo. The DOJ says they provided sufficient preliminary links implicating the people in the ongoing investigation.
Speaking of that, the House leadership is giving embattled Congressman Zaldico until Monday, September 29 to return to the Philippines. This comes after a letter from Ko to Speaker Boji D saying he intends to return to the Philippines and answer all the allegations against him. In the letter, Ko said he denied accusations including budget insertions, kickbacks from DPWH projects, and that his alleged involvement in fishing allocations for a firm. He also denied owning an aircraft allegedly used to fly former President Rodrigo Duterte to The Hague. Ko also said he fears for his family's safety amid public outrage. And in response, Speaker D assured Ko that the House will coordinate with authorities to guarantee the safety of both himself and his family upon his return. D also warned that failure to comply with the September 29 deadline will be deemed a refusal to submit to lawful House processes and may prompt disciplinary and legal actions. Meantime, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla has ordered the filing of a blue notice with the Interpol against Zaldico. The notice seeks to help establish the lawmaker's current whereabouts.
President Marcos has announced that he will realign 36 billion pesos in DPWH funds initially meant for flood control to the DSWD. A large portion of this will be used for the 4Ps or the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. Other programs that will benefit from this realignment include the AICS or the Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situations, as well as programs to help poor Filipinos pay for emergency operations and maintenance medicine. Separately, the House of Representatives says it will realign 12 billion pesos to implement the free college law as announced by Appropriations Chair Micaela Swansing. The amount was what state universities and colleges said they lacked in order to fully implement the law.
On to the weather now. A severe tropical storm Obong has made a fifth landfall, this time over Mansalay, Oriental Mindoro. As of 2 p.m., Opong was spotted in the vicinity of San Jose, Occidental Mindoro. It's packing winds of 110 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Opong is forecast to head towards the U.S. Philippine Sea this afternoon before exiting the Philippine area of responsibility tomorrow. It may also re-intensify into a typhoon within the next 12 hours. Signal number 3 remains over Batangas, Marinduque, Romblon, Occidental Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, Calamian Islands, and parts of Aklan. The southern portion of Zambales, Bataan, Metro Manila, and the northern portion of Antique are still under signal number 2, and the rest is being flashed on your screens.
And joining us today, busy sa telepono. Ayun, nahuli ka tuloy. Historical's resident political pundit, Raul Llamas.
Gandang hapon po sa lahat ng ating tikapakinig. Isang maulan na hapon.
Sa isang mabagyong hapon.
Oo, kanina na traffic ako sa mga baha sa Manila.
Talaga?
Konting ulan lang eh.
Oo nga eh.
Pero umabot ako. Hindi ako nag-zoom ngayon.
Unlike who?
Wala naman.
Tulad ng...
Wala naman ako naisip pahiwati.
You just wanted to make that
Talagang deadpan talaga.
comparison.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sige, touche. I'll let him have it.
Pag ikaw kasi nalit, ang daming sinasabi.
Hindi pa tapos yun. may humahabol pa eh.
Sige na nga, let's segue.
Ito, isang taong din nila ito.
Editor-in-Chief, Amy Pamintuan. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Ami.
Hi.
Warm na warm naman ang
Happy
suot mo.
weekend. Malapit na weekend. Hi,
Ami,
everybody.
Ami, warm na warm yung suot mo. Kahit malamig, naiinitan
nga,
kami.
Bumabagyo. Di ba pag bumabagyo, kailangan medyo medyo maliwanag naman yung
Liwanag. Hindi ka tulad dito katabi ko na chismoso.
Baha na naman, Bilis-bilis magbaha. Nagbaha rin dito malapit sa amin
Bumabaha rin dyan sa inyo, sa Parañaque?
Siyempre.
Merong area dito na madalas magbaha, yung
sabagay,
sukat, yung sukat road
Parang hindi ka
connected to naiiya.
Sabagay.
Konting lang yung baha na yan. Kaya
Ano ba ako dyan,
medyo
Ami?
matagal-tagal tong galit na to ng mga tao.
Ami, kanino ba yung mga flood control dyan sa Parañaque? Kanino ba? Parang
Tinanggal na
narinig
nga
ako
yung di ba? Hindi ba kasama yung regional director for Metro Manila and for this area, district director.
That's all
Pinalitan
under,
na rin
that's
yung-
all under Yusek
Di ba?
Bernardo. He's
Yeah.
NCR,
Alas
di ba?
Piñas Muntinlupa yun, hindi ko alam kung kasama yung Parañaque. I'm not sure. Muntinlupa,
Hindi.
Las Piñas District
For sure
Director.
may sariling DEs dyan. Pero what I'm saying is lahat yan under kay Roberto Bernardo, the USEC that
Yeah.
is testifying at the Senate. Kasi NCR siya eh. All of Luzon minus
Yeah.
CAR and I think Batanes, sabi niya. But all of the NCR flood control programs are essentially under him. So,
Nakakatuwa yung interview kay kay BSP chief na-shock daw siya doon sa laki ng mga withdrawal. What do you think of that Ronald? Na-shock yung BSP chief sa laki ng cash withdrawal.
Dapat may ginagawa sila dyan Imaginein mo kung
Hindi
hindi
ba dapat siya regulate? Kasi alam ko matagal nang may rule na kapag 500,000, kailangan automatic reporting.
Oo, dati
Ang
na yun
sabi nung nag-testify na taga-bangko, Land Bank, kasi daw, it's a government bank at ang tinitingnan daw nila kung sino yung nagwi-withdraw dahil dapat DPWH. But even then, hindi ba merong red flag yun na cash ang
Correct.
wini-withdraw?
Oo.
Kung magbabayad ka, hindi ba bakit hindi cheque? Bakit cash?
Imaginein mo, Ami.
Diba?
Imaginein mo, Ami, kung hindi pa pumutok lahat ito. Wala silang kamuwang-muwang, clueless sila sa lahat ng nangyayari. Di ba?
Yun
Di ba?
naman, di ba?
Yun mismo is a crime.
Diba, na yung manager's check? Pero mo kalahating bilyon i-withdraw cash.
Oo.
alam
Bakit
mo,
hindi ka mag-manager's check?
the truth is, this is the dirty truth
In
in the
fact,
banking.
digital banking Ang dali-dali na, click ka lang, nandun na yung pera, di ba?
Yeah. Oo. Ito yung
Digital banking.
dirty truth in the banking industry, right? So, may ibang banks talaga na mas madali makapasok ng pera, mas madali makalabas ng pera. The people who are involved in illicit businesses, alam nila which ones they are. Because there's fewer checks there.
Yes. Di ba yung case nga dun sa Bangladeshi Bank, Central Bank, na dumaan sa atin? Di ba?
Yan sa Jupiter.
Nakulong yung yung bank manager ba yun? No? Pero
Yeah, bank manager.
feeling ko parang fall guy lang siya. Tingin ko
yeah.
parang marami
Through
pang
casino
involved
Sean. That went through the casino. Tapos diniretso sa bangko.
Oo.
Pero hindi cash transaction yun,
Yes,
Completely digital.
Imagine mo tong cash na lumalabas in the billions.
Well,
Tapos ngayon lang
yun
nila,
nga eh.
ngayon
Yun,
lang
di ba?
nila nalaman.
yung withdrawal nga na 457 million over 2 days.
Oh, yun lang
Ang sagot ng Land Bank officer dyan, well, they were given a notice of cash allowance by DPWH.
Yeah.
So, hindi nila question because they're an approved contractor of DPWH. It should have been an even bigger red flag.
Yes.
Kasi DPWH nga
Yes.
it's public
Gobyerno,
money. It's
public
government money.
Kaya yung mga excuse nila, medyo malabo, di ba?
Di tayo nakakaproblema ganyan, no?
Ito nga yung kinagagalit ng maraming tao because if you as an ordinary person magwi-withdraw ka lang, ang dami pang paperwork, ang
Subukan mo.
hirap.
Sige, cash, subukan mo. Subukan mo mag-withdraw.
Hindi, yung
Pipila ka
500
doon
million ko,
kalahati
hindi ko
ng
na
araw.
mailabas Nahihirapan ako, ilabas yung 500 million ko dahil sa ganyan
Kailangan tulong ka namin.
Tulungan ka namin. One day, Ed, mag-withdraw. The next day,
Ako,
ako.
ano yung maletang ginamit?
We'd
Matibay
be
daw yan,
happy to
first
take the
class.
fall for you,
Hindi ko alam kung ano yung tatak.
Lungkot.
Basta may
Matibay daw yan,
35%,
hindi
ha?
natin lalagay.
Okay, so anyway.
Na nga yung isang si Kiko Pangilinan, Land Bank daw sa Malolos branch.
Yeah, yun nga yung yun nga yung
Of
the
course,
bank
it's
in
Bulacan.
question in this case.
Pero marami
Yes.
mga rural banks, daanan ng wetting money.
Yun ang
Daanan
sinasabi.
yan.
Alam
The
nila
millions,
yan.
no?
Pero hindi naman ganyan
Yeah.
kalaki pera sa wedding,
Oo.
Kaya
Sa
nga
wedding
sikat
kasi
yung wedding, small
20-20.
time yung mga bet.
Hindi, pero pag dineposit na yun,
Oo, pag
malaki
ilalabas
na
mo na.
yun.
Oo, sa mga kubrador 20-20.
Pero ito, mas malalaki ito. Diba?
Hindi naman
Mas
ganyan
malalaki.
kalaki. Wala naman ako alam na ganyan kalaking
Sipin mo,
half a billion?
withdraw ka ng 460 million, pwede bang in 20s?
Ilang
At
truck
saka
kaya yun?
marunong yung mga yan, alam nila yung threshold ng plunder. Walang lalagpas dyan sa 50 million mga transaction niya, sigurado.
Okay.
Kaya nga itong panghuli na lang, itong nagtestigo, kay Marcoleta, naglalagay daw
Orly
sila
Gutesa.
ng 48 million sa
Yes.
isang luggage. Actually, hindi kakasya ang 48 million sa luggage.
Yun ang
Pag ako kasi
iniisip ko,
naglalagay
paano
ng
ka
50
nagkasya
million, pag ako naglalagay, mga kanya mga 10 bags.
Kaya nga, luggage.
Diba?
Hindi, yung
isa
50
nga
million, isang bag yun.
Isang bag
Baka
yan,
XL
isang
size
maleta.
luggage.
Kahit na.
So,
ano yun?
so parang
Ano yun? Kasi laki nitong kwarto yung luggage.
parang 5 million per bag, ganun lang?
5 million.
Hindi,
na
mga
yan.
10. Mga 10 naman. No? Mga 10.
Kahit na ganito kalaki?
Ha? Yung 10, yung medium
Yes.
size.
Baka naman
10.
20-20 nga yung...
Pero 48 million, lalagay mo sa isang maleta? Hindi kakasya yun.
Sobra, oo.
Oo, sobra yun.
Unless
Alam ko yun
Baka
dahil
naman hindi
naglalagay ako
natin
ng
alam
mga
yung
milyones
yung-
sa mga
I don't know,
maleta ko.
hindi,
baka pwede.
hindi ako makarelate and I have
Kung
no
1,000
experience packing cash in luggages.
1,000 bills kasi yun, 1,000
Oo.
pesos bills.
Kaya nga,
So
1,000.
that's 48,000 1,000 bills.
Oo.
Oo.
Yung isang...
Sige nga.
Hindi kasya yun. Hindi kasya
Isang
yun.
nakakakulo.
48,000
1,000 peso bills.
Sige,
peso
sige,
bills.
subukan mo.
Tsaka mabigat yun. Mabigat yun, ha? Pag sa, yung 10
Kaya
million,
nga,
lalagay mo sa bag,
sundalo yung
mabigat yun.
pinagdala Ay, marine.
Kaya nga marine daw yung nagbubuhat.
Marine ang pinagdala
But anyway, si Ping Lacson
Pero
already
marami.
ordered an investigation into the background of Gutierrez.
Yeah, because the
Ano ba-
Notary Public
Kasi
is
mga-
owned
mga
the
sabit eh.
statement.
Notary Public, tapos sarado daw yung bahay na pinagdadaanan, under renovation, so ang daming construction workers doon yung makakita. Ikatlo ay
under construction
usually
daw
kasi,
talaga yung bahay
pag
na nasa
magpapadala ka ng
McKinley.
ganon,
Pero ibig-
480 million, ang papapuntahin mo yung pinagkakatiwalaan mo. Baka mawala eh.
Hindi siya.
Hindi yung kahit sino lang
Yung-
na bodyguard or security.
Hindi siya na has only been working allegedly for
Yes.
Congressman Ko for how many years was it?
Yeah.
I think 3 years.
Halimbawa,
years pa lang.
kung magpapadala ako ng ganong kalaking pera sa isang bigayan, si Manny Mugato ang kukunin ko. Dahil may tiwala ako
Oo,
eh.
because you've known him
Diba?
for
Baka
20
tulog
years.
naman.
Diba? May tiwala.
20 years mo nang kilala.
Yes, 40 years ko na kilala.
Baka naman, paano ko nakatulog?
Ano, no?
Paano ko nakatulog?
Eh di, mag-worry yung dadalhan. Nasaan na?
Umikilik-kilik.
Na-hold up ba? Yung pala natutulog lang si Manny Mugato.
Okay, anyways, ito pang breaking news this afternoon. Si DOJ is going to request a blue notice to the Interpol for Congressman Ko. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng blue notice?
Alert lang yun eh.
Sa
Hindi
mga
pa
Alert
airports.
alert
Sa mga
lang,
airports.
Yeah.
You can
parang
still
inform
move
us of
around.
his whereabouts if he passes to your
But,
airport.
Pero airports yun. Airports, no?
and
Para
we
lang alam
also...
kung nasan siya. Kasi
Unless,
wala pa naman siya arrest warrant dito
Yeah.
sa atin eh.
Yeah.
But that's
Kaya wala
one
pang red.
step closer, basically. So it's close. They're closing in on him now, and we also have a soundbite from Justice Secretary Romulia saying nasa Europe siya, Spain or France.
Spain daw, Spain.
A lot of text messages are coming in that he's in France. I mean, on social media, marami ng mga nagpo-post about pictures
Nakita
of him
siya.
at the airport,
Nakita siya.
pictures of his wife allegedly at a designer
France.
store, shopping. I'm not verifying these pictures. I'm just saying maraming
hinahunting ka,
nagkalat.
nagsha-shopping pa rin eh, no?
But at the same time, in his letter, he's complaining
Siguro therapy ano yun, no?
I'm on
Therapy
medical
shopping.
leave. But he's
Kapag
not
nai-stress ka,
Pero hindi,
bumili ka.
hindi ko naman siya ina-advisean. Pero kung nasa Spain siya o France, malapit na yung Portugal. Portugal kasi walang extradition.
Pero hindi mo siya ina-advise.
Hindi ko ina-advisean.
But if you were to advise
Lapit
him,
lang nun eh. Lapit lang nun.
wala tayong
Car.
extradition treaty with
Wala.
Portugal.
Portugal wala.
Wala.
Pero pwede ka ma-Interpol.
Ha?
Pwede ka ma-Interpol.
Oh, pero mas mahaba ang proseso.
That's true.
Kesa doon sa lugar na meron tayong extradition.
There are also some small territories south
Oo,
of
pwede
these
kang bumili ng
countries.
isang castle doon eh.
Oo,
Daming castle doon
madami
sa
doon.
Portugal na walang tao.
Ay, pero Bok, it also depends kasi, for example, yung kay Digong, imbes na dumaan doon sa extradition, in Interpol.
Oo.
Diretso, Interpol.
Mas
oh.
mabilis.
Oo, diretso nga yan. Pero yun
Interpol.
na,
Mas maraming membro yung Interpol. So may commitment. I'm sure Portugal kasama sa Interpol.
pero ang China
So
kasi
meron silang
miyembro
commitment to the
ng
Interpol.
di ba? China,
na kailangan
Philippines,
sila
miyembro.
mag-comply.
No?
So, pwede.
Di ba?
Kahit
Pwede.
China, kahit walang
Pwedeng
extradition.
China.
Hindi ba?
Why?
Kahit walang extradition.
Eh, hindi naman papayag yung China na extradite si Kwan eh.
Yeah.
Si Digong eh. Kaya kung hindi rin advice, pero kung sakali, dapat hindi siya umalis ng China, ng Hong Kong.
But in any case, we have at least DOJ saying that they think he's in Europe somewhere.
Ang mahalaga kasi,
Pain daw.
gustong ipakita ng gobyerno, nagle-level up sila. They're not doing
And they have been
nothing.
moving fast,
Diba?
to their
Yun.
credit.
Oo.
Every day parang may initiatives around this.
Dahil alam mo naman, everything is perception. Kailangan yung
Correct.
ginagawa mo, makita, masalampak sa mukha ng mga tao. Itong ginagawa namin.
Yeah. Okay, on that note, let's bring in our first guest for the day. We're talking to former Congressman and new House Chief Communications Officer, Congressman Ace Barbers. Good afternoon, Kong. Thanks for joining us again here on StoryCon.
Good afternoon,
Hi,
Kong.
good afternoon
Hi,
again.
Congressman.
Good afternoon, Ami and Regina, Ed, and Sec Ronald. Magandang hapon sa inyo at sa ating mga
hapon,
kababayan.
Good afternoon, sir.
Kong,
Kong, ano bang status nyo ngayon?
kaya,
Yeah.
hindi niyo tatanong.
Oh.
Are you still the House
Actually, I'm no
Comms
longer
Chief?
the Chief Communications Officer ng 20th Congress because I think the new Speaker has appointed another person to be the Chief Communications Officer. However, yung last na statement that I issued in behalf of the Speaker was when he resigned. No? At binanggit niya kung ano yung rason at yung kanyang paninindigan na dapat ituloy ang investigasyon ng ICI na walang mag-i-impluwensya at walang pakikialam na manggagaling mula sa mababang kapulungan.
Right. So si Speaker Martin nga yung nag-hire sa inyo, Kong, to be the...
Yes. That time kasi they had to, alam mo, usually kasi pag may change of leadership, all positions are actually deemed vacant.
Of course.
So, merong unspoken courtesy resignation doon sa tradition dyan sa House. That's why to give the new speaker, the new leadership, a free hand as to who will they appoint on certain positions in the House.
Pero di ba, Kong, ang agreement ay as is where is? Kumaga, walang ibabakante ng mga positions at this point habang may budget process?
Yes, that is correct. Except for some, like the position that the Speaker Romualdez created, itong Chief Communications Officer. So it follows that when he resigns, I also follow his resignation.
Pero so that's as Chief Communications Officer. What about as the spokesperson of Martin Romualdez? Are you still speaking in behalf of Martin Romualdez?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Ed, no, until now, I'm still in constant communication with the Speaker and trying to help in the communications aspect. No?
Okay.
In fact, wala naman siyang ibang except for his personal comments on issues that are affecting him, siya po ang nagsasalita dyan.
So, Kong, alam niyo na yung next question namin, no? Which is the last time we spoke to you, you said all that talk about the leadership change was just ingay, noise lang. He's not planning to step down, and then, well, a few days later, eto na nga, there was a sudden leadership change.
Yeah,
What happened there? Sabi mo, there's nothing.
That's correct. Yeah, but you remember when I was asked that question, I was telling everybody that as I speak, matibay po at malawak at malaki ang suporta na binibigay pa rin kay Martin Romualdez. In fact, even at the last hour, no, even before he resigned, no, when he finally decided that he will resign, there's still a large number of the members of the House, mga around 90% po rin yan, na nagsusuporta sa kanya. Until he finally decided and told everybody that I must step down. And of course, we respected his decision.
Congressman, kumusta siya ngayon? Have you spoken to him since yesterday dahil kahapon pumutok yung bombshell about him eh.
Oh.
Have you spoken to him tungkol dun sa mga new allegations against him? Na medyo seryoso yun, ha?
Oo, medyo seryoso nga. In fact, he issued a statement kahapon.
Yes.
Sinasabi nga niya that of course, he is vehemently denying yung allegation na yun. And being a lawyer that he is, nakita natin na meron silang napansin, no, na mga inconsistencies at gaya nga ng sinabi niya, mukhang kinoach ito, no, o ika nga sinusian, o hindi kaya ay ito ay parang hindi na-rehearse ng masyado kung sino man ang naglabas sa kanya.
You're talking
What
about
were
Orly.
inconsistencies? Can you be more specific, Congressman?
Well, unang-una, he said that he delivered money at the residence of the former speaker. Yung bahay na tinuturo niya since January 2024 ay under renovation. Pangalawa,
But the house,
I don't know. In
sir,
that exclusive village,
sorry,
you won't be able
sir. Sorry, but
enter just like that, no?
Kong,
Yung sinasabi
Congressman Barber, sorry, let me
maraming bag, maraming luggages, baka mukhang imposible. Ang tanong, sino diniliberan nitong taong ito doon sa address na sinasabi niya?
Right, but Kong, just to be very clear about this, yung house that Orly Guteza was referring to, yung 42 McKinley, he said street, but I know that to be road. It does belong to Speaker Romualdez?
Well, I believe so. I haven't been in that address, but I believe because the speaker has not issued any denial. But sinabi nga niya na ito ay under renovation since January 2024.
Pero sir, yung
Congressman, yung
42
kaling yan,
McKinley,
hindi kailangan, walang gwardya dyan. That's the part of Forbes Park na walang gwardya.
Yeah,
Yan yung main road eh.
Yeah, at along the road, no? So magiging katakataka na kapag ka merong ganong karaming sasakyan na papasok doon sa isang under renovation na bahay, mukhang magtataka tayo bakit merong ganon, no? Pangalawa, kung totoo yung sinasabi ng witness na yan, sino ang pinagbigyan niya? Wala naman pong tao doon. No one is actually staying in that house except for the construction workers since January of 2024.
Pero sir, sabi nga ninyo, nobody can enter just like that. Pero my point po, sir, kasi is that 42 McKinley is not inside or facing
A main road.
Forbes Park mismo or Forbes Park North. It's facing McKinley, which has free access. In other words, it's actually facing, if I remember right, it's facing San Antonio Mall. So, pwedeng pumasok, labas-pasok kahit sino doon through
Main
that
road
entrance.
yun eh. It's a thoroughfare.
Yes, it's a major thoroughfare. Yan ay labasan at pasukan ng lahat ng dumadaan ng mula EDSA hanggang BGC. No? O hindi kaya EDSA papuntang Forbes Park o hindi kaya papuntang Dasmariñas Village. So, yung nabanggit ko kanina na hindi basta-basta makapasok, yung sinabi rin itong witness na to that they went to Valle Verde with all these vehicles carrying all these luggages apparently to deliver, no, to the house of sino to, si Congressman Saldico. Medyo ang ano ko medyo incredible, no, yung kwento at medyo certain aspects of his story are actually absurd, no, na hindi ka panipaniwala. Yun nga, sa punto nga lang nung sinabi niyang dineliver dun sa McKinley, kanino siya nag-deliver dun?
Di ba si Eric Yap daw nagdala?
Well, sabi niya siya nagdala at ang trabaho lang daw niya, ang kanilang mission ay magbuhat at i-deliver ito. I-turn over daw sa mga staff, allegedly sa mga staff. So,
kamusta ba si Speaker Martin ngayon? Chill lang ba siya? Anxious ba siya? Wala ba siyang biyahe palabas ng bansa? Paano? Wala naman siyang whole departure order pa, di ba? So, anong kanya ngayon?
So
anong
last
niya ngayon?
week, we were together. No? Doon kami sa kanyang tinitirhan at napapag-usapan nga namin yung tungkol sa bills that he sponsored in Congress at ano yung tuloy-tuloy na mga bills na mga budget reforms na kanilang itinutulak ngayon under Speaker Boji D, no, under the new speaker. So doon nakita, pinag-uusapan pa rin, he's pretty much concerned about the reforms, no. He is not he looks relaxed na ngayon. Medyo, of course, I guess he's preparing and constantly reading. Yun ang nakita ko, no. And he looks relaxed.
How about Saldico? Nakakausap pa sila ni Speaker?
Yan ang hindi ko alam, Sec Ronald, no? Medyo matagal na yata silang hindi nakakausap eh. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko eh.
Si Speaker Romualdez ba, does he already have a lawyer?
Well, I believe so. No? He's probably he has some friends in the legal circle, and I strongly believe that if in the event that he will be charged for whatever it is, I think he's ready. He's going to prepare his defense.
Does he believe, sir, that he will
sabi
be charged
niyo,
eventually?
nag-rehearse, mukhang rehearse yung testimony. Kung nag-rehearse, sino kaya yung nag-rehearse sa kanya sa suspicion nyo?
Yun ang medyo parang kasi pilit na ibinabanggit, no, itong si Speaker dun, itong testimonya nitong si Gutesa, no, parang rehearsed nga. That's the way he looks at it. And he never actually had second thoughts in saying pilit na pilit yung being a lawyer that he is. Alam naman niya, no, at nakikita niya kung ano yung mga ganyang klaseng mga testimonya. So,
pero sino kaya yung suspetsa? Sino kaya yung suspetsa niya, Congressman?
Hindi wala siyang nabanggit, no? Pero just early this morning lumalabas, no, na marami palang naging VIP security pala ito, na napakaraming personality sa politika at outside the politics. So, taliwas ito do sa sinabi niya sa Senate na I think from his previous employment, pag-retire niya sa Marines, napunta siya sa Coca-Cola and then kay Saldico. I don't know. I think hindi tugma doon sa lumalabas na employment record niya o yung assignment niya o yung detail orders na lumalabas ngayon doon sa kanyang sinasabi sa kanyang testimonya.
Pero sir, considering how things have been going the past few days, does the Speaker think that inevitably kakasuhan din siya?
Honestly, I really don't know if he thinks of it that way or if he even feels that it's going to happen. But no, being a lawyer nga that he is, no, I'm sure he's preparing for whatever it is, no. At lagi naman ganyan si Speaker, may mga plano yan. Even when he was the Speaker of the House, no, he was ahead of the game, no. Lagi niyang naiisip yung dapat mangyari if a deliberations on a certain proposed legislation will happen or will be started to be deliberated. So nakikita niya yan eh.
Kong, several days ago, finreeze ni Secretary Vince Dizon yung mga air assets ni Saldico. Almost 5 billion pesos worth. Meron, tingin nyo, are you anticipating yung ganong klase ring freezing ng assets ni Speaker Martin?
Sir Ronald, hindi ako sigurado, no? But I don't know. The reason yata na freeze yung kay Congressman Saldico is because there's already a case, no, na na-file sa kanya, no. Wala pa naman akong naririnig o nakikitang final na kaso sa kay former Speaker Martin Romualdez. So kung meron man, I don't know what assets, or kung meron man, if i-freeze. Yun ang tingin ko.
Kasi sinasabi ng mga tao, ito yung general perception about it eh. Kasi si Saldico, mukhang diin na diin siya, and he was the chair of the Appropriations Committee for most of the 19th Congress, during which si Congressman Romualdez yung speaker. Kaya inevitable daw na hindi siya, na masasabit siya. Pag-uusapan niyo ba yon, yung angle na yon? Kasi kahit walang kahit circumstantial lang, yun ang pinatutunguhan ng mga suspicion.
Well,
Did he discuss it with you?
Honestly, no. Hindi namin napapag-usapan yan. And that particular story or angle has still, until now, is still a suspicion. No? Kasi, siyempre, itong chairman ng mga different committees sa House, no? Ito ay nominated and elected by the majority members of the 19th Congress. And it is presumed that whatever they do, whatever they decide on, has the imprimatur of the majority of their members. So I don't know kasi nga until now it remains a speculation. If you recall, I think the camp or the lawyers of Congressman Saldico issued a statement that he has already divested now, no, before he even became a congressman. So I really don't know kung paano ang magiging takbo ng depensa or ng charges against Congressman Saldico.
Okay, so let's come back to Speaker Romualdez. In terms of to follow up on Ed's question, Kong, actually the NBI has already recommended filing charges of indirect bribery and malversation against a number of personalities, including former Speaker Romualdez.
Hindi yata kasama si Speaker.
Oo, hindi yata kasama si Speaker.
Hindi kasama si Speaker.
Nung una kasama eh. And then,
Hindi daw.
Wala. I think ang na-filean lang, members of the Senate, the DPWH personnel.
there are some news reports still including Speaker
Nag-clarify ang NBI
Romualdez.
dyan.
But in any case, when he was I wanted to come back to Ed's point about whether or not he expects to be charged. Was it part of the plan nung nag-resign siya? Did he already see it coming? Is this part of something that he agreed on with President Marcos, for instance? What is going on behind the scenes here? It can't be that wala siyang, as you said, he is someone who always has a game plan, right? So what's happening here behind the scenes?
As far as whatever agreement he had with the president, of course we don't know that, no. Pangalawa, if being a lawyer that he is, he would anticipate what would be coming, no, should an investigation be made, no. At third and pinaka-importante, nag-resign siya because he wanted to allay the fears, no, of our kababayan na hindi niya pwedeng impluwensyahan ang anumang resulta ng investigasyon at hindi siya pwedeng makialam. Kasi nga, kapag ikaw ay speaker, malawak ang iyong powers, malawak ang iyong impluwensya at maaari na magkaroon ng ng pakikialam o magkaroon ng pag-iimpluwensya sa maaaring maging desisyon ng investigation. And he doesn't want that. That's why he said, I will resign to give the ICI a free hand to continue its investigation without allaying the fears of our people na merong cover-up na magaganap under my leadership dito sa ating mababang kapulungan. Yun ang kanyang in-emphasize when he resigned.
Yes, sir. Sir, in response to Ami's question kanina, you emphasized na itong chairmanships ng committees were based on nominations by majority of the members of the 19th Congress. I understand naman that's how it really should be going. Pero the reality is, of course, na the chairmanships are really usually selected by the House leadership and then of course affirmed by the majority of the membership. Now I ask that kasi with the evidence mounting against Zaldico at patong-patong na po yung ebidensya kay Zaldico so far, the question on people's minds is how can the speaker or the former speaker be detached from whatever actions Zaldico did or took as chairman of the Appropriations Committee and eventually the BICAM? Parang ang hirap po atang, medyo mahirap pong i-separate yung dalawa, distance yung dalawa. Yeah. Kasi po, kahit pa paano, the APRO Committee is a key committee that usually has, and the leadership of that is usually with the imprimatur of the speaker.
Well, actually, why shouldn't he be detached, no, Ed? Kasi ako, my opinion here is that, are we saying na yung ginagawa ng isang chairman whether tama o mali, may kinalaman ng ating speaker? Is that the only issue that he has to think about every single day? Remember, kaya nga po yan, Chairman, ibig sabihin po yan ay mayroong mayorya ng miyembro ng mababang kapulungan na nagbigay ng tiwala at confidence sa kanya na para mapatakbo ng tama at wasto ang kumiting kanyang hinahawakan.
Yes.
So, I think it would be unfair to say na may kinalaman ko. If there are shenanigans committed by any of the committee chair, it would be unfair to say that the leadership has a hand on this. No, at least in my own personal experience in Congress for the last 20 years, hindi ko nakitang ganun yun. No?
Yes, sir, but we're talking about the budget.
Look at it,
we're talking about the budget, the single biggest and most important bill
It's
that
not any
Congress
bill lang.
passes.
It's the budget.
Yes, I agree. But, the budget is not done by the House of Representatives alone. It is done by both the houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. So why put the blame on the people in the House of Representatives? As you see the revelations coming out now. Sino ba yung merong kinalaman? Allegedly, di ba? So let's see where the evidence will lead these investigations. Kasi nga, pwedeng nag-iimbento lang. Kagaya nga ako, personally, tingin ko dito sa isang witness na ito, nag-iimbento ito. Maybe he has some motives, whether personal or political, I really don't know. No? But it seems that because of the inconsistencies present in his testimony, I would honestly say that he's lying. So, yun ang tingin ko.
Kung in relation doon sa pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, bago bumaba si Speaker Martin Romualdez, nagsalita si Congressman Ronnie Puno na yung mga problema doon sa BICAM ay responsibility lang ni Congressman Saldico at saka si Senate President Cheese Escudero. Hindi nga niya binanggit si Grace Poe. So, may ganun bang pagtingin si Speaker Martin din na all these problems sa budget in relation sa BICAM ay problema lang ni Senate President Cheese at saka Saldico, parang implying na whatever shenanigans or anomalies ang may relasyon dito sa BICAM ay itong dalawa lang ang responsible.
In fairness, wala akong narinig doon na sinabi ni Speaker na ganun na ito lang ang merong kasalanan. He was silent about the issue. In fact, hindi lamang po si Deputy Speaker Ronnie Puno nagsabi na ito ang mga involved. Marami rin pong mga kasamaan sa Kongreso. And even in the Senate, di ba, meron din nagsasalita dyan. So again, sa tingin ko, itong pananaw ng ating dating speaker, kailangan, tuloy-tuloy yung investigation. Palabas na ang katotohanan sa likod nitong issue ito. Dahil nga maraming nagsasabi, maraming mga pangalan ang binanggit. If you recall, yung first time lumabas itong Diskaya, ang dami niyang binanggit ng mga kongresista. And when he was confronted by the members of the lower house, the couple was confronted during the hearing of the Infracom. Anong sabi nung dalawang mag-asawa? Ay hindi ko po kayo nakilala, hindi ko pa po kayo nakikita. Ngayon ko lang po kayo nakita. And what does that tell us? Diba? Ano to? Puro kasinungalingan. Lunes, ang sinabi mo, ABC nga. Pagdating nung Martes, napunta ka sa Kongreso, iba na kinakanta mo, XYZ na. So medyo, I think we should really study itong mga statements made either in favorable or not favorable to a member of Congress and see where the evidence would lead them. Ang point lang is that kasi tayo mahilig tayong magkaroon ng conclusion right away, especially sa maraming kababayan natin. Pag nakakita ka agad ng post sa social media, parang gospel truth na So dapat talaga mag-iba ang pananaw natin dyan. Dito, ito mabigat ito because galit tayo. Lahat tayo dito galit. Lahat tayo apektado. Wala namang mayroong monopolya sa galit dito. Lahat po tayo. ako in my case, I also feel disappointed. Bakit? Marami akong hinihinging programa, proyekto para sa distrito ko eh. Pero hindi nabibigay lahat ng pangangailangan ng distrito ko. And then later on, I'll find out na meron pala mga ghost projects na ganyan. Ano ba yan?
Right,
Na,
right.
Sana pinakinabangan pa ng taong bayan yan sa ibang
but the point remains, you cannot disconnect the responsibilities of the House leadership here, right? As Senator Ping said, the original sin lies with the House of Congress. Kasi dyan nangyari yung maraming insertions,
yes, I agree,
right? So the budget, I will also point out, Congressman, I will also point out yung budget.
Hindi yan isang bahay lang, no? Dalawang bahay po yan.
Correct, but
hindi naman po alam ng isang bahay kung ano ginagawa ng isang bahay. So,
right, but
hindi ho natin pwedeng gawing basihan yon sa ating konklusyon o sa ating desisyon dito sa usaping ito. Malalim po itong usapin na ito, and sabi ko nga, di ba, let those who wants to reveal whatever they want to reveal, but this must be substantiated with evidence.
Right.
Yung talagang hindi pwedeng basta-basta ma-dispute na evidence.
But I also just want to correct something you said earlier about, we're not at this point saying that Speaker Romualdez had a hand in this mess. But there is a thing as command responsibility, right? Itong budget na to had been an issue since last year. Even the president called it the most mangled budget, right? Other people have called it the most corrupt budget in history. So matagal na to. And the problem is Congress has power of the purse, right? So what the accountability here also lies with the leadership at that time. We're not saying that he was responsible for the insertions, but how does he see his accountability in all of this?
Yeah, that's the reason why he resigned. So that when the investigation will happen and he will be subjected to an investigation, no one can say that he will influence nor even attempt to cover up his involvement if there are evidence to prove that he indeed has a role to play in this issue. Kaya nga hindi talaga hindi maiwasan na magkaroon ng iba't ibang opinion tungkol dito. Dahil nga nakikita natin na every single day may lumalabas na ebidensya, na testimonya na kulang sa ebidensya. So, yun na lang, no? Siguro hintayin natin yung ebidensyang yan.
On a different note, kamusta ba ang klima ngayon sa House?
You've been talking to the speaker regularly, no? Hanggang ngayon, former speaker, no? Kumusta po siya? Do you discuss his political plans? Sinabi ba niya na baka maapektuhan yung kanyang yung political fortunes as a result of what's happening? Kasi matagal na siyang representative ng Tacloban, ng distrito niya. So, ano po yung napag-uusapan niyo? In fact, nung nag-uumpisa yung mga gulo sa buhay niya, nag-uumpisa, I think, nung napagsuspetsahan na ibalak siyang tumakbo for president in 2028. Kumusta yung political plans niya ngayon?
Well, sabi nga niya na now that he has a lot of time to focus in his district, he will definitely devote all his time, no, to his constituents in Tacloban, and of course more time to spend with his family. Yun ang huli niyang nabanggit nung nagkukwentuhan kami after he has resigned.
Kamusta yung climate ngayon sa House? Meron kasi akong mga nakausap na ang balita ay hindi ganun karami dumadalo sa budget process ngayon. May mga nabalitaan ako na maraming demoralized, hindi malinaw yung kanilang political future. Mismo daw yung mga minimums na dapat makuha nila in limbo pa ngayon. Hindi lang yung mga usapin ng insertions at saka flood control. Ikatlo ay parang anxious yung maraming kongresista of what will happen, hindi lang sa kanila individually, kung hindi dun sa institution of the House. Ano bang tingin nyo dun sa nangyayari ngayon sa House in terms of climate, in terms of moral ng mga kongresista?
Well, yung last time na nandun ako sa Kongreso, dinalo ko si Speaker Boji D, and I had a few minutes to sit down and speak to him about plans at itong mga plano ng Kongreso. Mukhang ayos naman ang pakiramdam ko na nakikita ko dahil mayat maya datingan ng mga kongresista. At panay nagpupugay at bumabati kay Speaker Boji at mukhang they're all now busy with the budget. If you remember, Sec Ronald, itong pinakamalaking komite ay ang Committee on Appropriations. And during this time of the year, pag nag-umpisa na yung pag-submit mula ng July ng budget hanggang December, ang pinaka-busy committee dyan itong Committee on Appropriations, which I think 1/3 yata ng membro ng Kongreso ng 20th Congress ay member nitong committee ito. And they are asked to attend religiously all the committee hearings. So, sa plenary, medyo nagkakaroon ng konting siguro kabawasan dun sa attendance kasi nga depende dun sa topics for the day, kung ano man yung mga ahensyang tatalakayin ng araw na yon dito sa plenaryo. So I think kaya medyo parang kumukonte. But generally, the way I look at it, mukhang okay naman, kumbaga parang supportive sila dito sa administrasyon ni Speaker Boji D and sa ating of course sa ating administrasyon.
Okay, we'll leave that there for today. Thanks so much for coming back and talking to us, former Congressman Ace Barbers. Salamat, sir.
Salamat, Kong.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Congressman.
Thank you, Ed, Sec Ronald, and Regina. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po. And now let's check on the situation in NCR, particularly in Manila, where Mobile Journal Merimon Reyes is. Merimon, kamusta dyan? Ikaw ba'y binabagat, binabaha?
Nako, good afternoon sa inyo. 2:30 yung pinakahuling beses na nakita nating bumuhos ang ulan dito. Nakatayo tayo sa Espanya Boulevard. And so far, ang pinakanararamdaman natin ngayon na bunsod din itong bagyong Opong ay yung malakas na ihip ng hangin. So far, marami-rami ring evacuation sites ang nakaredy sa Maynila from District 1 to 6 maging ang Baseco. Pero so far, sa huling advisory na ibinigay ng lokal na pamahalaan, wala pang ginagawa na preemptive evacuation at so far wala pang binubuksan talagang evacuation sites. Pero itong Social Welfare Development ng Maynila, meron silang order na in case nakakailanganin ng magkaroon ng evacuation, maghahanda rin sila nitong hot meals para sa mga mag-evacuate. Bukod naman dyan so far sa paglilibot natin, kumpara kanina umaga, nanggaling tayo ng NLEX papunta ditong Maynila, tuloy-tuloy yung malakas na buhos ng ulan. Pero ngayon, so far dito, tuyong-tuyo ang Espanya Boulevard sa likuran ko, walang pagbuhos ng ulan. Maging yung major thoroughfares ng Maynila, kasama dyan Lagos Nila, Taft Avenue, Recto Avenue, Magsaysay Boulevard, Quiapo, lahat ito passable pa talaga. Sinabi last time kaninang tanghali ni Manila Mayor Isko Moreno, 99% ng mga kalsada passable pa raw. At meron silang tinignan kanina na mobile pump doon sa Rojas Boulevard just in case daw nakakailanganin. Balik sa inyo.
Okay. Itong si
Merimon, walang traffic. Mukhang maganda traffic dyan, ano?
Correct.
Wala kasing pasok
Oo, Miss Ami, pareho papuntang Quiapo, tapos sa kabila papuntang Commonwealth, maluwag ang daloy ng trapiko. Wala ring abiso naman ang LRT, MRT, yung mga estasyon kung magkakaroon sila ng tigil pasada kasi so far maayos pa naman itong mga daanan at ang inaasahan natin around ngayong 4 o'clock hanggang 8 o'clock PM, maaring maramdaman yung mabigat na pagbuhos ng ulan. Kaya yan yung isa sa mga inaantabayanan natin.
Okay, Bok. Itong si Merimon, kung hindi bagyo sa Mendiola, bagyo sa Espanya. Okay, maraming salamat for your report. Mobile journalist Merimon Reyes.
Thank you, Merimon.
Ano?
Naniniwala ka? No comment si Ronald.
Marami lang kasi ako nababalitaan sa house. Kaya.
Ano.
Pero hindi ko nakokontrahin yung sinabi ni Kong.
Ano napabalitaan mo nga?
About what?
Hindi ko nakokontrahin.
Hindi mo nakokontrahin yung which part?
Lowering attendance, yung mga ganyan, counting demoralization, mga anxiety, no? na nararamdaman din naman natin.
Sinabi naman niya with his first interview with us, ay, siya ba yun? Who said it was a bit somber, pero optimistic. Ay, hindi, si Congressman Zia Adyong pala yun. Who said the mood in Congress was a bit somber, pero optimistic.
Paano?
With this new leadership.
Sinabi na kasi ng Presidente, sinabi ni Secretary Vince Dizon ng DPWH na zero ang flood control, zero ang insertions, no? Ano pa kaya isi-zero? Magpapasko na, burn months na eh. So,
Merong X. Merong X. X meron.
By the way, I don't know if this is a relevant question, pero what will happen if they see through these charges tapos mabawasan ng ilang senador sa Senate?
hindi, nangyari yan nung panahon nila Poles eh. 3 yung nabawas. Ibig sabihin, tuloy pa rin dapat.
Pero wala ng quorum.
Yeah.
Ha? Hindi, may quorum.
May quorum pa.
Oo.
24, 21.
Hindi, bibilangin na lang yan kung sino na
In the meantime, okay.
Kung matanggal yung kalahati, yun, may problema ka. Halimbawa.
Let's say 6.
Napolas kasi 3 yung ano, di ba? 3 yung nakulong eh.
Oo. Hindi mo alam kung ilan ang involved sa House. No? Ilan yung makukuha. Kaya nga may anxiety eh. Di ba? Eh, marami naman mga congressman, may mga insertions at saka flood control. So, nagwo-worry yung marami. No? Although, hindi naman natin sinasabi na lahat siya, malus.
Correct.
Hindi natin sinasabi yun.
Pero
wala tayong sinasabi gano'n.
hindi, sabi nga nila, insertions are not illegal per se. Because obviously, each district representative will want more for their districts.
Yes, pero the very nature
yung kickbacks here, yung commissions, yung commitments, yun yung problema.
Pero the very nature of insertions, parang gray area. No? Yun yung, kaya nagreklamo yung presidente doon sa pagmanggel ng kanyang NEP.
Kaya nga,
diba?
which is my
so,
point.
meron ng problema ron eh, para sa ibang mga mata. No? At dahil may insertion ka, parang hindi ganun kalayo yun eh. Doon sa mga sinasabing anomaly ngayon. Dahil nga nakatago eh, yung karamihan dyan eh. No? Unless, meron kang Ping Lacson na yung 600 million, hindi niya mahanap, nahinap na 675. 675 pala. So, karamihan naman, hindi naman ganun kagaling mag-investiga eh. So, yun nga yung sinasabi ko, anxiety.
They don't know sino palalabas. They don't know which names.
Doon magkakaroon ng problema. Kung marami masyado yung ma-involve. Halimbawa, kung majority ng Senate ma-involve, sa ngayon, papunta na sa 6 eh. Perhaps even more. No? Lumabas na sa 6, hindi kasama din yung pangalan ni Chis Escudero. Lumabas yung kay Bernardo. So, ilan pa? Diba? Ilan pa yung may posibleng ma-involve? Hindi natin sinasabi na guilty na sila. Wala tayong sinasabing gano'n.
Ikaw nagsabi na.
Kahit nakikita ko sa iyong mga mata.
Pero pwede pa rin silang Ronald,
I didn't say anything.
Pwede pa rin silang mag-participate in They can still cast their votes. Hindi lang sila makakapag-plenary. Hanggat hindi final yung any ruling of conviction, hanggat hindi final yon, they can participate.
Okay,
pero Ani, kung plunder,
pero
kung plunder, kulong sila.
Oo nga. So let's assume.
Non-bailable
Kulong ka, but you can participate.
Even malversation.
Lalo ngayon, merong ganito, pwede silang mag-zoom.
But
hanggat hindi final yung papayagan niya, maniwala ka.
The Senate can still decide to have you, for example, go online. Kasi
so,
hindi ka pa completed.
even malversation now above 8 million is non-bailable. So let's assume, let's say hypothetically, 6
There's no
of
such thing as
them
non-bailable anymore after Enrile's decision.
in a perfect world. So let's hypothetically 6 of them are jailed. So paano yun? It comes down to the Senate. Sila mag-decide, do we let you participate or do you have to resign?
Theoretically, they can still vote. Di ba? May pagbobotohan. Theoretically, pwede pa sila.
Hindi final eh.
Yeah, because you're still innocent.
But Senate, no, let's say jailed nga eh. Whilst awaiting trial, whilst awaiting
but you're still innocent. So,
they
in
will
effect,
participate.
They cannot take away your right
Walang
to
final
participate.
conviction ka pa.
Does Senate have the power to say, okay,
Depende
you're
sa
too
rules.
tainted, we need to resign your position?
Depende sa rules. Paano siguro kung senator na
Hindi nila gagawin yan. Hindi nila gagawin yan.
Yung Senate tungkol dyan.
Kaya nga, do they have the power to do
If
that?
they say that, that will be a separate legal issue altogether. Can you just take me out of my role responsibility just because I've been charged?
Well, for
si
instance,
Trillanes no, nakakulong siya na matagal, di ba? Pero parang hindi yata siya
He
nakaboto.
participated.
Pero nag-online siya.
Well, former
Laila de Lima.
Senator Laila de Lima.
De Lima, yes.
All those years. Pero let's say for the repeat offenders,
But they may be repeat
Wala.
offenders,
Sino naman
but they're
repeat offender?
repeatedly acquitted din naman. Hindi rin
Repeatedly acquitted. Repeatedly acquitted. Okay. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying there has to
Bong
be...
Revilla, di ba?
There has to
Pero
be...
hindi na siya hindi na siya senador.
Ano, di ba? Standards. This is the upper chamber. So,
So, anong gusto
Sabihin mo na.
Hindi, anong gusto mo
Sabihin mo na.
anong gusto mo mangyari?
sabi nga ni E.S. Bersamin,
Lahat yan, remember,
clean
they're
up your
all
house.
saying they're innocent. Tatandaan
Yeah.
nyo. So you cannot exclude them.
Oh, pero
Binya,
ang
we
problema
are
ni-
elected officials.
Ang problema ni ES Bersamin, tinamaan din siya sa
Oo nga eh.
investigation
Pati
ito.
siya. Pati siya.
Na-clean up your house din siya.
Wala, baka maubusan nga tayo ng ano,
Is that a bad thing?
contractors, kongresista, senador.
It's the system, you
Is that a
know.
bad thing?
It's the system.
It's the system.
And on that dour note, we shall end the show for this week. Thank you so
Dour
much
note.
for joining StoryCon today. Ami
Tawa
Pamiton,
tawa.
Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit. Join us again Monday, 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay. Please stay safe out there.
I'm
Happy
Edwin
weekend.
Gao. Oh, happy weekend.
The
Okay.
weekend, no, in spite of everything,
May pabulo eh.
in
We're
spite of
one
the
news.
dour note.
Tama na. Goodbye tayo. All sides all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.